A warm welcome back to your latest industry recap, 787 updates, and Lufthansa continuing with attempts to enter a new era. Want to begin there as they've finally taken delivery of their first 787 Dreamliner featuring the new ENQUIRIES product for Frankfurt. The 787-9 arriving in Frankfurt is part of continued efforts to overhaul the perception and, therefore, the standard of the business, especially the modernisation of that fleet in the German city, which it calls home. According to current forecasts, the carrier is hopeful that the first scheduled service will commence in October, with non-stop flights to Toronto in Canada to be offered. Additionally, this 787 is intended to usher in a new wave of 787 deliveries over the next 12 to 15 months, and certainly in the next few months itself. The German carrier is hopeful that 9 new 787-9s will be delivered by the end of 2025. That is equating to some 1 new aircraft every fortnight. While there have long been obstacles taking delivery of next-generation 787 jets, there's largely renewed optimism among airlines that Boeing's progress is visible and the delivery rates are poised to increase steadily moving into 2026. For Lufthansa, these new aircraft are incredibly important as they feature the all-new cabin class. Now, guests will be able to experience the premium cabins out of Frankfurt. ENQUIRIES was present on long-haul flights 1 year ago for the summer 2024 schedule departing from Munich. Hundreds of thousands of passengers have already experienced this, but adding Frankfurt is vital for greater harmony across the business. The airline's CEO Jens Ritter said that with the arrival of the Dreamliner, the modernization of the long-haul fleet at the most prominent hub is well underway, and now the positive repercussions can be felt, with greater fuel efficiency and quieter operations. Lufthansa's ability to progress into this new era I continue to talk about has certainly presented its challenges on more than one occasion. For example, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the German flag carrier believed an opportunity presented itself to streamline its day-to-day operation by reducing fleet types through the accelerated retirement of less efficient aircraft. While in theory this axing was unfortunate for enthusiasts and those who worked on the planes, it was a move that made a great deal of sense to ensure long-term stability in turnaround endeavours. However, when demand surged back, supply chains were decimated, throwing a curveball at Lufthansa's ability to acquire new-gen aircraft, which were not being delivered to grow, but also to replace other fleet types that were being axed. Lufthansa, like many other global airlines, ultimately acquired next-generation aircraft too slowly to make the retirement of older planes worthwhile, and significant decisions were made to reverse retirement plans. Ultimately, less efficient and older planes would be put back into service to limit capacity loss across the network. While this is great for enthusiasts, these decisions have cost Lufthansa money and go against the initial proposed renewal plans. From the delivery of 787s which have been delayed due to supply chain constraints to the delivery of next-generation 350s, most of the airline's new aircraft have not been spared from delays. This also excludes your upcoming 777X, a long-haul flagship product that on paper will help bridge the gap between outgoing quad-engine wide-body aircraft but has only been delayed by more than 5 years. Away from fleet complications, Lufthansa has also been challenged in turning around its overall perception from a customer base that has grown increasingly more frustrated with upper management's decisions regarding what is meant to be a flagship airline. Over to the next story, and that sits also with the 787, but more so some positive developments at Boeing, who experienced a very positive August with multiple 787 deliveries resulting in quite a sharp rise in the last week alone. Several aircraft were shipped off, whether that to Shanghai Airlines or American Airlines. The figure that was reached in the last week alone saw Boeing reach levels it has not seen for quite some time. Boeing's ability to begin delivering the 787, more importantly to Chinese customers, has been a tremendous moment, as it serves as a vote of confidence to these operators located in this part of the world who are seeking to develop their fleets that they can now finally get the aircraft they need. And with that all-important order for 500 planes, there's an opportunity for many more 787s to be ordered. With prospective production increases on the horizon, it could be a massive result for Boeing. Additionally, there were a host of first flights for jets that had just exited the production floor and are now expected to undergo their necessary testing before being cleared for delivery. Boeing's planned production increases for the 787 program have been clear for quite some time, but those plans are obviously much easier said than formally achieved, given the obstacles that have been in front of the manufacturer in recent times. At the the end of 2024, the company announced it would invest $1 billion in the overall 787 program to increase production rates moving forward, aiming to reach 10 per month by next year. A portion of the plane maker's focus was expanding its Charleston County facility, where an investment would create 500 jobs over a 5-year period. That is an approximation, but it would definitely help establish its presence in South Carolina. Long-term, Boeing knows it needs to ramp up production rates, with Leham News and Analysis reporting last year that the manufacturer was well on its way to considering eventually producing up to 16 787s per month. That would be a record for the Charleston plant. Producing 16 of this type would be an increase on the peak 14 units that was reached before the COVID-19 pandemic damaged a lot. Supply chain disruptions have made it harder for airlines to find slots. Additionally, the program, while having a healthy backlog, has not been helped by the many quality issues it has faced across recent years, which in itself has presented challenges to really meet that demand and certainly increase production. Boeing has the FAA closely watching over not just the 737 MAX, but all its production programs to ensure at the end of the day that it is delivering the most high-quality aircraft. We know that it had been missing for some time, but it's all about how you rectify that and are able to have some stability in the coming years. Thank you very much for tuning in to this aviation recap. If you have any thoughts, you're more than welcome to drop it down below in the comments. Take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your latest industry recap.
And we'll fly.